Hello, this is Tormod. I want to speak about a specific pattern. It is the pattern of competing and comparison, going into competing and comparison, and after that going into self-judgment and ending up depressed or in chaos or with schizophrenic or just as ending up with trouble. I mean, because we compete and compare each other. Either we compete and compare with, she's got a nice jacket that I don't can afford, or he's got a nice car that I don't have, or I'm not happy with the mole I have in my face. I have a mole here, I feel ashamed of it. Or my belly is too big and I go into competing, comparison with looking at famous actors or the models and looking at them thinking, oh, they're so perfect, or they're so cool, they're so nice. And I go into competing, comparison with like football stars or some stuff like that, or body. And because I have a lousy image, because I'm trained in competing and comparison over details like school stuff, like pencils when I was a child, my sweater, my clothing in school, we were taught to compete, we are tested and tested and tested and tested until we are completely ruined, and it's time to re-educate. Now this testing and this competing, comparison in school and in society and everywhere we go is related to inequality, poverty, to have different wages, to have some people have lots of money. There's this envy, and competing is born. Every envy is born, and competing, comparison is born because some have millions and billions and zillions and trillions and billions, and others have scraps, nothing. A little, So from that competing, comparison pattern, bullying is born, war is born, because people think that, oh, but if you only think positive, it will go away. If you just think positive, and then we go away, like this pre-programming that, and thinking that you're feeding this polarity of yourself, thinking positive on top, and failing to realize that there's a knife below that hurts, because that's a negative. Positive and negative, there's a polarity with that. There is a polarity with thinking, there's a polarity with giving into thought, up and down, superior, inferior. And by giving in on top, you are feeding below. That is a hard lesson to learn for very many, myself included, but it is a fact of life, and it is necessary to know to people who want to learn psychology, for instance. Now, bullying is born, war is born, self-judgment is born. And we judge ourselves, and later everybody else, we start judging ourselves, and later everybody else, and then we think that, oh, if I just blame it on the government or the corporation, things will be cool, things will be fine, if I just can blame it on the government or the corporation, and have that thinking that aggression or anger or frustration and revolution and violent revolutions will solve anything. Aggression is but the disease. Violence and clashes with the police is not a cool option at all. We need a kind transmission, a gentle transmission. We don't need a violent revolution. Look at Egypt, look at Ukraine, look at Libya, look at all the wars that have ever been. Have you ever get a society that's for the better? No, fuck that, we have not. All revolutions that have been with the old mindset of ours. So it's time that we need to learn the mind from inside and out, all the details, and forgive all that we have been, all the transgression, all the friction, all the noise in the head, everything that happened that caused a polarity equation, a plus and negative, a plus and minus, and positive and negative. So we are all in this together, equally sharing the responsibility of being in this life together, each and every one of us. And what I want to emphasize here is that from having poverty, from having inequality, from having these huge, insane differences in income and possibilities and opportunities, we then go to a point of competing and comparison, because somebody has less and somebody has more, somebody has a nicer jacket, and bullying and war and self-judgment is born. So this is a pattern. We go into competing, comparison over differences, and then we go into judgment, and go into war, and go into bullying. These are very, very, what shall I say, evil components, evil patterns. It's a nasty, nasty business. We need to we need to be responsible. We need to wake up and be responsible with ourselves. The way that we live behind all the masks and all the layers of hidden within ourselves is not sane. We are all schizophrenic somehow. All of us humans. We need to take responsibility, learn the mind, and forgive. Thank you very much for listening.